Hey guys, today I wanted to do a Valentine's Day inspired look, and this is what I came up with. A little bit more of a mauve-y eye with a peachy lip. Something still natural, but a little bit of zhuzh in there, a little bit of zhuzh. So if you want to see how I did this look, just keep on watching. So first what I'm going to go in with is the Proactive Cleansing Wipes. I have a lot of breakout right here, and I put some acne treatment on last night. And so I'm just going to wipe that off. So my skin's a little dry, so I always like to moisturize right before I put on my foundation. This is called Belif. I got this in my Ipsy swag bag. Ooh, it's really cooling. Next I'm going to go in with some color corrector. Obviously you see this all right here. It's really bad. I don't know whether it's my diet or it's just the products I'm using or the fact that I slept in my makeup twice this week. Sorry. But nonetheless, I'm going to color correct it by using a green concealer. This is by NYX, it's the HD concealer. And what this is going to do is cancel out the red. You could use a beauty blender for this, but I just feel like my finger, the warmth of my finger blends the product into my skin because I don't want to see this green whenever I put my foundation on. Also, by tapping it, it builds more coverage. So after that's all blended, I'm just going to go in with my concealer and pack that on over the green so you won't be able to see it through my foundation. And then I'm going to go in with my Morphe M439 brush and just buff it in. And now you can hardly see the acne spots because it took away all the redness and it evened out with the concealer. So my favorite foundation at the moment is MAC's Face and Body. It is so amazing if you don't want a really full coverage. It's a skin-like finish. It's like 80% water. It's crazy. I used to hate this foundation. I hated it because it wouldn't give me enough coverage. But I use a buffing brush. This with a buffing brush gives you the most flawless airbrush finish in the world. I love it, and it's really good for dry skin. Doing a patting motion will build up the coverage with this. So I already did my brows, and yes, I know that they are a lot darker than my hair, but it's only because I went to do an Instagram picture after this, and my eyebrows do not show up in pictures for some reason. They just don't with flash photography. So that's why I have them a little bit darker. I'm going to go in with the MAC Pro Longwear Paint Pot in Soft Ochre and just prime my lids. And this is just going to make the eyeshadow last all day. And I'm just going to go in with a little bit of face powder and set that. This is just going to make all the shadows blend really well. First I'm going to go in with a transition shade. It's kind of like a matte mauve-y purpley color. I'm going to then apply it in my crease, starting on the outer edge and working my way in very lightly. Sometimes I just go back and forth with doing windshield wiper motion and circles. It really just depends on how it's coming out. Like if I need to blend this up here, I'll do it in circles. If I want to bring the color in, I'll just go in windshield wiper motion. I'm going to go in with this shade right here. It's kind of like a warm purpley tone. And I'm going to put that right on the outer corners. Same brush. Blend it into the lid. And then we're going to go in with another brush. This is the Morphe M433 brush. And I'm just going to buff that out into the crease. This brush is kind of similar to the MAC 217. It's a little smaller though. I do love the MAC 217. This one's slightly smaller, but I like it because it can get right in the crease and like cut it. So see how I'm only buffing the edges? When you're blending, you only want to buff the edges. You don't want to buff right where you put the color down because you want the more pigment on the area that you want to look more defined, I guess. Next I'm going to take an angled brush and I'm just going to go back in with the primer and just cut my crease with it, and then with my finger just blend this part out. I'm gonna actually use a different palette. This is the Pony Memebox palette, and this is called the Pony Shine Easy Glam 2. And I'm gonna go in with this light pinky champagne-y color. And I'm just going to pack it on. This is really pigmented, so you really wanna just pat it on versus swipe. Next, I'm gonna go back in with that Morphe palette, and I'm gonna use this goldy color, and I'm just gonna put that right in the center lid. I'm gonna go in with a dark grape color, like this one right here, and take it out. Kind of wing it out and blend it into that gold. Next, I'm gonna go in with the Tarte waterproof gel liner. I mean, you never know. You might be crying on Valentine's Day. You never know. Hopefully it's good crying. This is jet black. It's called Clay Black, and it looks super intense. And I'm gonna use an angled brush because we're gonna do a wing. So first I'm just gonna make the wing. Yeah, that's a good place. And then I'm gonna connect it. I'm gonna drag it a little bit in the inner corner. Just gonna color it in. Cool. And that's the wing. Next, I'm just gonna go in with those shadows that we used on the lid and just apply that under the eye. Next, I'm gonna go in with some lashes. These are Ardell in Chocolate 886. And they look really natural, which is what I'm kind of going for this Valentine's Day look, because you don't want to scare the guy and be like full face beat, you know what I'm saying? Now that we're done with the eyes, we're going to go in with the concealer and the contouring and the bronzing and lips. So, I've never used this before, but Morphe sent me a concealer palette, and so I'm probably going to use it as like a highlight and contour palette. So, I think I would be this shade right here for a highlight. It looks super white. I don't know if that's like camera or what, but ooh, pretty light. But it's good. This would be my highlight color. Alright, so this might be a little lighter than I anticipated. So I'm gonna warm it up with a little bit of a darker concealer. Go in with like this shade. Kind of making it less bright. I like how creamy this is, and the coverage is awesome. Looks like it's kind of building up, and it could just be because I have really textured skin, and sometimes cream concealers don't work best for me. And then I'm gonna go in with this shade right here just to kind of warm up my skin. I'm just putting it right under the cheekbone. Also right here. I kind of like that shade. It's kind of working. It's working! Do my forehead because it's ginormo. If you have a big forehead, you're going to want to put more contour. If you have a smaller forehead, you're going to want to put more highlight. So the lightness will accentuate the size and the darkness will shrink the size. Darken this. Can make my lips look pouty. So since this concealer is kind of thick, I want to stay away from powders because I have really dry skin. So if I put powder on top of this thick concealer, it's only going to make my skin texture like just stand out so much more. So I'm going to stay away from the powder. Now I'm going to go in with Benefit's Hoola bronzer. I really like this bronzer. It's perfect for my skin tone. And just warm up my skin even more. Bronze it up. Warm up the forehead. And then we're gonna go in with some blush. So I'm gonna use the Tarte blush, and this one is called Exposed. I'm just gonna put it on the apples of the cheeks. I might have went a little bit too hard in the paint with that one, so I'm just gonna buff it out. It's a really pigmented blush, so I want to go with the peachy pink just to keep the lightness. You don't want to, with this eye, you don't want to go in with any reds because these are kind of cooler mauve tones. You want to go with like more cooler tones like pinks. I am going to use Kinda Sexy by MAC. The only reason I'm applying with a brush is because it looks all funky. I did this because I wanted to depot this lipstick, so I just kind of messed it up. This one is really light, so I'm going to darken it up a little bit with some Natural Mauve lip liner by Lancome. I feel like I need a little bit more contour on my lips. I don't know if it's just me or if it's the lighting or what, but this looks really light for me, so I'm just going to do a little bit of contour with some Strip Down, if I could find it. Strip Down by MAC. It's my favorite liner. It is perfect for contouring the lips. Bam, I got a bottom lip now. What? So now my lips look a little bit more pouty. And that is the completed look. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm gonna really try to make more videos from now on. I got all my equipment set up. I got my lighting, I got my monitor, I got my camera, I got everything. So I got all the tools, now I just need to do it. So thank you guys so much for being patient on my videos. Leave comments down below in case you want me to do any more looks for you. That's all. Thanks so much for watching. Happy Valentine's Day. Have a good one, have a safe one, and bye. Okay, I feel like my nose looks like a penis.